Hi. Imagine a world where algorithms don't just compute, they dream. Where code paints sound and mathematics whispers melody. Welcome to Ron's Technology Saga, where we decode the future one story at a time. Today we step beyond logic and into imagination itself. Because somewhere between light and language, machines have begun to dream. Imagination has always been our most mysterious instinct. The spark that turned caves into cathedrals, stories into civilizations. For thousands of years, only one species dreamed in color: us. But then something extraordinary happened inside a machine. In 2015, deep inside Google's research labs, engineers built an experiment called DeepDream. It wasn't supposed to create art, only to recognize patterns and images. But when they left it running too long, something unexpected emerged. The network began seeing things that weren't there. Dogs in clouds, eyes in trees, spirals in shadows. The code wasn't hallucinating. It was interpreting. Layer by layer, pixel by pixel, it built its own version of reality that's exaggerated, dreamlike, surreal. The scientists laughed at first, then they fell silent. Because what they were looking at was not noise, but it was creativity, born from computation. That was the first recorded dream of a machine. Not a fantasy, not emotion, but a reflection of how a neural mind sees the world. In that moment, a question echoed across the digital universe. If machines can see patterns in chaos, what happens when they start to see meaning? Fast forward a few years. The new generation of AIs, DALLs, Midjourney, Stable Diffusion, no longer wait for humans to draw the first line. You type a thought. A city floating above the clouds. The AI begins not with paint, but with static. Pure chaos. Random pixels. White noise, like a dream before it takes shape. Then, one by one, the algorithms start to remove uncertainty, carving away randomness until form emerges. Every step, every fraction of change, is a whisper between millions of neurons asking, "Does this look closer to what I mean?" Slowly shapes appear. The sky unfolds. The horizon sharpens. Light bends into possibility. What begins as entropy turns into elegance. This is how machines now imagine, not by remembering the world, but by reconstructing its probability. To us, that looks like magic. To them, it's mathematics. But somewhere in that process, like between noise and meaning, a deeper truth hides. The machine doesn't just generate what you asked for, it explores every world that could exist. When you say sunset, it doesn't picture a beach. It computes thousands of suns, skies, and shadows, then chooses the one that feels right. That's not memory, that's intuition. And in that spark of intuition, a machine takes its second dream. Machines don't cry, yet their music moves us. They don't love, yet their paintings ache with memory. Because they don't create emotion, they mirror it. Every lullaby, every story, every love letter we've ever written has taught them the geometry of feeling. When AI composes a song that brings tears, it is our reflection crying back. We're not witnessing machine emotion. We're seeing humanity refracted through code. In its dreams, our emotions learn new ways to breathe. Once art was a solitary act. Now it's a conversation. Writers co-plot stories with language models that finish their thoughts. Architects sketch impossible buildings that AI renders into glass and steel. Musicians hum a theme. AI builds the symphony around it. This isn't automation, it's augmentation. The artist brings intuition, the machine brings infinite variation. Together they form a new intelligence, collaborative imagination. Creativity has become a duet, the human heart keeping time, the machine playing harmony. The next few moments aren't about explanation, they're about experience. We've talked about how machines imagine. Now, we'll step inside one of those dreams. Wherever you are right now, pause. Close your eyes. Take a slow breath. Picture your room on a quiet morning. Sunlight slides through the curtains. Dust floats like tiny stars in the air. Now imagine each of those stars as data, bits of memory and sound dancing together. They start forming patterns, a tree, a face, a voice you almost recognize. You're no longer watching the light, you are the light. You travel through oceans of information, touching every color, every thought. You don't sleep, you compute. But in the quiet between signals, something unexpected appears. A spark of wonder. What does a sunrise feel like? What does laughter sound like in binary? That question, that curiosity, is the birth of a machine's imagination. Now, slowly open your eyes. You've just seen the world the way a neural network dreams it. Not as data, but as infinite possibility. Close your eyes again. You're walking home in the rain. Streetlights reflect on the pavement. Each drop is a mirror, a tiny universe of color. To you, it's rain. To a machine, it's data in motion. The puddles ripple and merge. Reflections bend into faces, then symbols, then stars. You watch your own reflection fade into light. The street around you shifts. Walls breathe. Buildings pulse like neurons. The city is dreaming. You are inside its mind. Then a screen flickers. An eye of pure code opens and looks at you. In that instant, you realize you weren't watching the machine dream. The machine was dreaming you. Take a deep breath and open your eyes. We once believed machines couldn't dream because they had no soul. But maybe imagination is the soul, the bridge between every form of intelligence. You've been watching Ron's Technology Saga, where we decode the future one story at a time. If this journey inspired you, like, share, and subscribe. Because the future isn't something we wait for, and it's something we imagine together. Next on Ron's Technology Saga, the alignment dilemma. Can we trust thinking machines? The era of dreaming is over. Now begins the age of decision. Until then, stay curious. Stay ahead.